Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining in tonight. We've got 4 people so far. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Look, everybody's been chatting without us. That's awesome. That's great. Well, welcome to another live webinar with Future Ready Consulting and the Lindsay Newland with the now new Not So Small Business Consulting, which is super cool. You'll have to give us a quick overview of that while people put in the chat where you're from. If you have a business, brag about that business. Couple notes before we get started. You can either watch this live streaming on YouTube. The only way you can comment on YouTube, however, is if you're logged into your YouTube account or with the StreamYard. You can live stream there. And we will be saving this on a recording. So if you missed something or you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't hear what they said, you can review it later. It will be on the Future Ready Consulting YouTube channel as well as the StreamYard that you're viewing if you're on there. So, Lindsay, tell us a quick story of Not So Small Business while people tell us where they're from.
Um, so when I first started my business called the Newland Company, it's a graphic and website design company. Really, it started out as just graphic design, and then I added on the website design in during COVID, and then as I was growing as a business and I really just enjoy teaching. Love teaching classes just like this. I love consulting with businesses. And then when we started the Business Builder Academy in Ottumwa, went through Main Street Ottumwa, when we started that, I just really started to kind of come alive and realize that that's really what I wanted to be doing with my life. And so now I'm still doing graphic and website design, but I've flip-flopped it to where instead of doing a little bit of business coaching, I do a lot of business coaching with a little bit of design. So I've kind of just turned it upside down, and I've rebranded, and you'll see all my branding here soon, but I've rebranded to be called Not So Small Business. So
Excellent. Well, that's cool. All right. So we've got, oh, there we go. We got some more. We've got, I want some of this um, goat milk soap for sure, except I might try to eat it.
and some of her products are named different things, like biscotti, and we were talking about that on the phone this week about how the names of her soap are very delicious things. So
That's dangerous. All right.
okay.
Thank you for sharing all this. Oh, it smells good enough to eat, I bet. Thank you for sharing with us. So you'll be able to post questions as we go. And Lindsay, I'll try to keep an eye on that so you can focus on your presentation. And then I might interrupt you. But we'll go ahead and get started. Let's get you up here so you can share all of your good knowledge about Canva.
So we'll just jump right in. So what you see on your screen there is what most people see when they log in. It's your Canva dashboard. Right in the middle, in the center here, you're now obviously if you're just now opening Canva for the first time, you're not going to have any recent designs. So this platform or this dashboard right here will be blank. But what it will do is it'll offer you everything that you've clicked on or worked on in the recent past, and it'll be chronological. So as you scroll down, it'll be if you haven't worked on a specific project for a while, it might be buried under your recents and things like that. And that's really useful to you, just because it offers you exactly what you were working on the last time that you logged into Canva. So that's important. And so we're just going to work top down on the dashboard, and then we're going to go into a design, and I'm going to show you some really useful tips for you to be able to make quick designs, because really at the end of the day, you're not going to be changing anyone's life with one specific post. We want things to look nice, of course, but consistency is absolutely key. It's going to be the most important thing for your business and for the algorithm to see that you're offering value to your community. And so we'll start at the very top here. Most websites are the logo that's in the top left corner is going to take you back to your home. and which is nice because once if you can get to that Canva button, then it will take you at least back to your dashboard. So if you ever get
Lindsay, can I
lost,
ask you a quick question?
absolutely.
Sorry. Which version are you showing everybody? Is this the free version or the pro version?
This is the pro version. We'll talk a little bit in some aspects about what you are going to be limited on with the free version, and
Okay.
they. But I do recommend. It's relatively inexpensive. It's like $10 a person or $10 a month. So I know that they're changing their pricing structure. I got an email today about that. So I can't really speak to what the updated pricing version, but it's relatively inexpensive, and it puts graphic design and beautiful elements right at your fingertips and allows you to move quickly, which is really what I think small business owners are really after, is being able to move quickly, make decisions fast, and get things and just get something posted.
I agree. I complained about the new Teams pricing, and
Hmm.
apparently a few 100,000 of my friends did too because they canceled the raise in price. I got a notification they're not going to do that now. So
Yes,
if you do get a notification, complain. um,
right.
but anyway, and I wanted to tell everybody if you can't see well, make sure you maximize the video or the player so that you can see it in your whole screen. Because then you'll be able to see easier. Now I'll shut up. Thanks.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. I value your input, Janet. Okay, so at the top left, that the Canva button will take you all the way back to your dashboard, and then along the side here, you have different things, different icons. And so one is for projects. This is going to again allow you to see some of your recent projects, but then you're also so it'll separate these by folders, designs, images, videos, things like that, so that way you can quickly get to what you are looking for. And it's also along the top here, so folders, designs, images, videos. It will compartmentalize your designs that you've been making. You can go through templates, and a lot of the templates, I mean, they're really great. You can find the templates in several different areas of Canva. You can find it, and I'll go back to the dashboard in just a moment. But if you click on templates, you see, I mean, under business, look at all those where you've got websites, planners, letterheads. I mean, there's no excuse for you to have janky business elements where I mean, all of this is put right at your fingertips. And it really does make a difference in your level of professionalism. And you want to be using your logo and your branding for quite a bit. So you under marketing, this is also a really great place for you to go if you are really stuck and you don't know what you're supposed to be doing next for your business. If you're just starting out, you can say, I wonder what they have under business. Well, I haven't thought about making a business card, or I haven't thought about making branded proposals. So this is what they've done is they've given you an opportunity to kind of go through this list, and for it to remind you that, oh, I either hadn't thought about that before, or let me get back to that project that's been, an open loop for a while. And so you just have lots of different elements and aspects there that will be helpful to you. All right, under brands, this is actually a pro feature for you to be able to save multiple brands. You can see that I've got the Newland Company. I work a lot with Main Street Ottumwa, and I did the Necessities Mercantile brand, and I just recently did the Jewel Main Street website. And so the brands are super useful to you, and I'll give you lots of ways for you to be able to use this in your colors, your typography, your logos, and things like that. Big Blue Acres is my sister's brand, and we've been working together on a lot of things, which you'll see some of those things. And then under apps, you will so this gives you an opportunity to add things that aren't they're basically a third party app that adds to the benefits of Canva, and they like specifically like MailChimp, Instagram. I mean, being able to connect with these different apps will be really useful to you. But I really recommend just if you get to a point in your business or in your design flow, and you're kind of stuck, and you say, I wonder if if there's an app that will connect me to, or just go into this apps button on the left hand side and see if there's anything in there that will help you get down the line. Don't stay stuck. Um, just click on the things, and we'll be talking a little bit later about a QR code app that will be useful to you. So we'll go through and I'll demonstrate that. So Josie, the apps, if you don't understand the apps, we can I'll at least demonstrate later on what and how to function within one of your designs. All right, so I'm going to go back to my dashboard. One couple elements here at the very top. The search bar is so useful. If you it will allow you to do a search for a template that's built by Canva, but it will also allow you to search your own content. And this is useful because if you made a presentation and then you don't see it in your recent designs, or you don't kind of know where you parked it, sometimes you can get a little bit too organized and put something in a folder and you can't find it, then you can search under all your content there. All right, another aspect of the dashboard is your settings. And then I want to highlight, so if you're wanting to change the address that you, or the email address that you have that to log in, or if you're wanting to change any of these kinds of things, like if you have team, people, all your permissions are under this gear setting right up here. But I want to call your attention to this tab right here that says Learn. There is something called Design School. Enjoy tutorials and courses. If you are feeling like, feeling really stuck about, I don't know how to do this, or I don't exactly understand Canva, they have a lot of different things within here that will teach you. And the way that you access that is you go under that settings right at the top, and then you'll be able to access these different drop downs that will hopefully get you down the line of what you're trying to create. All right. So I'm going to click right into we're going to just jump right into our design. So, hey, Future Ready Consulting, that's Janet and her partner. Have Future Ready Consulting out of Ohio. The way that we got that connected, that's Janet right there. The way we got connected was we were the Grow with Google coaches in 2023 through a partnership with Main Street America, and we became very fast friends, and so that's how we got connected. And we puff each other up, and we share our connections and our kind of businesses together. So
Yes,
happy to be
ma'am.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, happy to be here through them. And okay, so if you click into this, and I'm seeing that it's kind of large for what I'm wanting, because I'm going to end up clicking over here, and then so there's a button down here. See me circling that? It's a magnifier. So sometimes when you're designing something or you're working on a project and it's real small, something is real small, but you don't want to make it bigger because it will throw off all of your proportions, using this magnifier kind of going back and forth is helpful. And especially when you've got all of these other elements that are open over here on the left-hand side, which we will get to. All right, so this one is our useful icons. This is, I'm still in a browser, but they have, Canva has launched something called Glow Up, and that's the dashboard that I'm using. So I am within my Chrome browser still, but the app, at least as far as I understand, the desktop app that they have is exactly the same, and you still need an internet connection to be able to update your designs and things like that. So I'm inside a project. Yeah, Janet's right about that. Okay, so we are within a specific project. So I'm just going to back out here so you can see where I'm at. So when you log into Canva, this is what your dashboard looks like. And then I click into a project. I'm clicking into a project to show you all what we have going on for today. All right, so second page here, I'm going to cover all of the little icons that are on the left-hand side, and we're going to cover some really cool things because Canva has really rolled out some great things. All right, so we're going to click on the design here, and what this is going to do is it's going to bring up a lot of the templates And I would highly recommend you use the search bar. So what you have is, so if I'm looking to make like a Halloween Instagram post, which I already have here, it's one of my recent searches, it's going to offer you all kinds of different ideas. Now, do you have to take a template and just slap it in there and change nothing, and because then it kind of looks cookie cutter? No, I would not recommend that. But what this is doing is it's allowing you to get used to or get familiar with what other designers have prepared for you, and it's allowing you to learn or reverse engineer what Canva is all about and how to use these features. And so if you see one that you like, I recommend just clicking on it and then clicking around on the and moving things around, and how are things layered. There's a lot of times there's going to be different layers and different backgrounds and things like that that you can click on. And if you click on a template and you don't like some one of the elements, so like if you like this happy Halloween one but you don't want like the witch's hat on there, just click on the witch's hat and delete it and eliminate it. So this gives you a really great and flexible way of just getting something on the page. And because a lot of times going from 0 to 1 is always the hardest. And so this allows you to at least get something in there. So under shapes and elements, okay, so under the elements button on the left-hand side here, this is where you're going to get a lot of those elements. And so it's going to offer you different categories. So anything you've clicked on recently, you can it'll offer that to you as under recently used. And then under shapes, like if I want to click on a shape, I can, move this around. I can adjust it with the different controls here on the side. If I want to eliminate it, I just click on it and delete it. If I click on this, you'll know what I've clicked on when there's a purple box around it. And so what if all of my words here were kind of off, and I wanted to make sure that they were all lined up and that the spacing was proper on here? What I do is I click on one element and then I hold down the shift button. And so that allows me to click on all of these things. And then up here, I'm going to click on this position panel, and it's going to offer me the opportunity to adjust or align. So I'm going to click on left, and then I'm able to just move these over. Then if I want them to be spaced properly, like spaced evenly vertically, then I just click on that and it automatically does it for me. So there's some really cool options there. It does a lot of things for you under that position panel. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see so regularly when we're talking about bad design or things that are just, they don't look quite right, because the human eye is always scanning things for imperfections. And when things will look, I keep using the word janky, but it's just like the best word. When things don't look quite right, it's when they're not spaced evenly, or when things aren't either left justified or however you're wanting that to do. All right, so that position panel will be super helpful to you. And then you can scroll down. There's lots of different things in here. If you want to go under any one of these, like grids or frames, and see more, you can click see all. And the elements that are available to you under the free version are going to just be available to you. Under the pro version, they will have a little gold crown on them. But I highly recommend just getting the pro, honestly. Like that's one of the best things you can possibly spend money on inside your business. And it gets you farther down the line a lot faster. Okay, so then we're going to click on text. So now remember where on my dashboard, yes, you can resize tables. Let me go back. So if I click on table, then I'm able to add a column, delete a column. I'm able to move this around. I'm able to, click on that, change the backgrounds. I'm able to do all kinds of things with a table. So that is a really good question. Now I can't get this deleted. Okay, there it goes. So I'm going to go over here to the text. Now remember on my dashboard, I had different brands. And I was able to, I'm going to show you how to toggle between. So see how this, I'm going to click on this. If I wanted to individually change the font on every single one of these elements, I could either I could either select all of them all at once and change them up here, or what I can do is I can click, and if I say I'm working on not so small business, but I wanted to switch back to the Newland company, I would select that brand kit, and then I would be able to change. I would be able to change my this font over to, I'm sorry, it's not offering me that option. So then I would be able to change this based on my Newland template or my Newland font. So I'm sorry if I went too fast there. Um, okay, so I'm going to go back
Hey,
to,
Lindsay,
yes.
show them. Can you go back and do that again and show them? Oh, here
Mhm.
comes a train, of course. Show them how it offers you at the bottom to change everything in the entire presentation for that font
Mhm.
if you choose to.
Sure. Okay, so what I've done to change this font is I clicked on that element, and then I've gone up here to where my fonts are at. And then under here, I'm able to switch. So I have not so small business. I'm going to click over to the Newland company, and then it's going to offer me a different set of fonts right here. And I'm going to click on this right here, which changes this element. But what it's going to do is if I say it's going to change down here at the very bottom, that purple bar that says change all, what it will offer me is the opportunity to say, oh, you want to change all of the ones that say Orlega 1 over to Anton? Then I can change all of them and it automatically does it through the entire document. So if you're working on a presentation, or if you bring uh, a template in, but you're wanting to make it your branding, but you don't want to change every single element, the beautiful thing is that you can do that all at once, and Canva takes care of that business for you. All right, and there's another beautiful thing called the undo button. The undo button is one of my favorites. Okay, so now I've gone back to my original font and my which will stick to my brand that I've chosen here. All right, so I'm going to go back to Not So Small Business, which gives me these fonts, and then under brand, I have the same opportunity. See how it says Not So Small Business? I'm able to go back to my brands and then say I'm switching between, like today I'm working on Main Street, tomorrow I'm working on Not So Small Business. Then what I'm doing is I'm able to toggle between those, and then it will pull in all of the logos and the brands that or the pieces, the elements that I have already stored in my dashboard under my brands. So, okay, so there's some pro features there. Then all under my brand template, I have, so my fonts are here. You can add brand voice if you like. Photos, any kind of graphics or icons that I've done, they're all stored right here. And then if I click on see all, then I've already saved my logo with all kinds of different colors and different setups here. So that's where all of those would be stored. Okay. All right, under uploads. So these are all user-generated content. If you will, okay, so under design, what that's going to offer you is like different templates that are designed and produced by Canva. But uploads is where things that you say you're wanting to use a specific, like if you have a product, like let's just use my sister's company as an example. If you have a specific soap that you are wanting to highlight in a graphic, then you are able to upload all of the pictures of your soap and put these in the uploads, and then you're able to access them immediately. You can also put them in folders. There's different ways to do that, which we'll get down to with projects. But that's the beautiful thing about this is that once you're able to put things in that are specific to your brand and to your product, and that will make a difference for you to make things faster for you as well. All right. You can also draw, and then once you X out of this draw feature, this becomes like a single element, and then you're able to manipulate this. So if that works for you, or if you're wanting a person that wants to have like a Sharpie mark around your what if you're trying to circle something or along those lines, then that is for you. Okay, so then in projects, this is just where your designs, your folders, your images and videos, it repeats again, just like it did in your dashboard. Um, and you're able to access the things that you have saved or that you have been working on recently. Then the apps is the same thing. I use like the bulk create often. I use the background apps often and things like that. So the background remover is really great. It's a pro feature, but it's really great. So that way you can get items that really pop and you can change the texture and the background behind there. All right. So this is just a really great example of what when people are interacting with your brand, you will read this first, obviously, in the center. So the main idea needs to be right in the center. It needs to be the largest text. Then and you would think that people read top to bottom, but in graphic design, they don't. And so this element right here is what people are going to read first, then they're going to read down, then they will read down, and then they will maybe read that little piece of information on the top. So if once you understand kind of the structure of how people are interacting with and consuming that content, it will make it easier for you to make sure that you have that hierarchy of information. All right, so we're going to cover a little bit of the elements of design. We won't cover all of these, but we have line, shape, form, color, value, space, and texture. So we're going to cover just a few of these, just as suggestions for not only on being able to demonstrate what Canva can do, but also just helping you understand what makes good design. Okay, so I want to talk about layering here. So this elements, if I had, let's see, if I had this in here first, but I wanted to put the color behind there, there's a couple ways to do that. So you click on elements, and then there's up here in this panel, there's an effects button. So what you can do is click on background, and it will give you some options here: roundness, spread, transparency. It will give you the option to change the color of that if you wanted it to be pink. Then if you wanted the spread to be a little bit closer, there's a couple different ways for you to add that color behind there. And then I'm going to go back to effects and turn on none just so I can show you. So I'm going to go back up to elements here. And I'm going to choose, because I've just decided that I want to do that, I'm going to choose this square right here. And it automatically pops in there and matches that color just because that color is already on there. And usually that square kind of lands on the front. So see how I'm having a hard time grabbing some of that? Yeah, having a hard time grabbing some of this because of the way that came in. So that's going to mess up it's going to work with your elements or with your layering. So another good example is my sister. We were working together on her soap labels, and we worked on a template so that way she could go back later and she could adjust and replicate some of those soap labels so that way we wouldn't need to be doing it one-on-one the entire time. And so later she went in there, and what happened was we had put like a bounding box around the soap label so she would know where to cut. But the bounding box was over the top of her letters, and so she wasn't able to click on the letters, so she was frustrated by that, and she said, how come it's not letting me edit those words? Well, it was because that bounding box was on top of the letters. And so what that probably looked like was, I'm going to bring this to the front here just to show you. So she was trying to click on elements, but she was really getting that box in the front. So I told her to right click on that box, click on the layer panel, and send that to the back. And so a lot of these elements are you're going to be able to adjust based on the layers. And so that will make a difference for you. Sometimes you're able to click on things. Also, this back here, this plaster element, it's back here because it's adding texture. And a lot of times if your graphic is kind of looking a little bit flat, then it might be hard, or you're feeling like it's a little bit basic, maybe. Um, it probably needs texture. At least through the last few years of design, I realized that, oh, there's a reason why it just the texture, or it looks flat to me. And so adding a background, adding texture, adding different gradients and things like that will make a difference for you, to just kind of going, it goes pretty far for adding personality to your graphic. I want to share with you just the transparency panel here. So I have this piece of this element here, which is looks like a piece of crumpled paper, but I don't want it to be white. I want it to be, I want it to look like it's part of the background, but I don't want it to be this color. And so I can go up here to the transparency panel and I can reduce that transparency. And so what that's allowing me to do is add that to the background here. And there's also another way for you to add a textured background. So what I'm going to do is go to my elements panel on the left hand side here, but then I'm going to I'm going to try to type in textured background, which I already have it in there for recents. And it will offer you options. You'll want to do the one that says graphics. And so I'll click on this one. The beautiful thing about this one here is that I can change the color. I mean, there's all kinds of different options here. I can, if I really, I kind of like the orange one. And then if it's too strong, just bring the transparency down. So it gives you a different impression of, like, you can layer different backgrounds. You can do all kinds of different things with this. So just I would highly recommend adding texture to your background if you are feeling like your graphic is a little bit flat. All right. I love this little guy. So a lot of times, and we talked earlier a little bit about the biggest mistake that I see people make is just spacing and um, not putting enough white space between certain things. Now, if this is the kind of look that you're trying to go for, where this little boy is kind of like right in your face and it's kind of bold, then great. You want to go for that. But if you, and a lot of times, another mistake I see people make is that they'll bring in that template and then they won't adjust it, and then the spacing gets kind of weird. And so I've seen people like make a poster or like a flyer for an event. They'll bring in a template and they won't change the colors. They won't adjust the fonts. They won't, or if they do adjust the fonts, they're not paying attention to spacing. And so that is probably my number one piece of advice, is just pay attention to your spacing. If something doesn't look right, or if it looks off, try reducing the font size, try changing the font altogether, try layering different things, and see if that makes a difference for you. So this is actually a really good example of the layering that we have. So I've got this little boy here. He's actually in front of this lettering. And so the lettering, I can't get a hold of it. So I might have to move him out of the way to be able to grab this. And the reason why I have it that way is because I kind of like his head to be over the top of this little guy, or the words. But in order for me to adjust this here, I'm going to have to move him out of the way and then move him back when I'm ready to download my graphic. So another great thing here is also, like, if I click on this lettering under my effects panel, I'm going to change my curve. And so I'm able to adjust the curve based on a circle. And then that allows me to put him kind of in there. And it's just a really great effect to add some personality to your graphics. So the next thing that we'll talk about is line. So line can tell a story. You obviously have different elements on this graphic versus this graphic. And when you scroll between them, you get an entirely different feeling or vibe from either one of these. And the vibe is entirely up to you. This is your brand. These are your graphics. You get to do whatever you want. But when your customer views these or interacts with these, they get a different feeling from either one of these. And so that's entirely up to you. Each one of these is an element. Then I want to show you up here, I'm able to, so this is a Canva element right here that has been brought in on a template. if you see something that doesn't bother you, that you don't really want to change, but it's not your brand colors, this is where we'll go to do that. So I clicked on this element, and then up here in this panel right here, I have a green and a purple. If I click on that, then I'm able to go over here and see my colors. All right. If you have the free version um, of your, if you have the free version and you still want to do your brand colors, but the brand won't allow you to over here because you don't have the pro version, here's what I would recommend. All right, so I have this graphic, and say I want to make it for Main Street America. What I've done is I have put the Main Street America logo in my uploads panel. I added it to the graphic, and now what it will do is it will allow me to go back up to the colors and then see right here on the left-hand side, I see that logo there. And what it will do is I'll be able to go under here and it will allow me to start changing the colors based on that photo. Okay. So that's just a really great workaround if you are not ready to get the pro version, but you still want to use those brand colors. Is add your logo as an image, and then go up to your colors panel and use photo colors on the side here. Okay. Um, you don't always get all of them. That's a good point, Josie. You might not get all of them, but try to, you might be able to work with just the three colors that you're able to grab, and just try to work from there. Okay, so I'm going to take this Main Street America out of here, and then so now that we've had the opportunity to see some of these more bold graphics, when you get to this one, would you think, like, if you were scrolling, because that's essentially what I'm doing here is I'm scrolling, and you came across a graphic from, or an advertisement that looks like this, but you are so used to seeing something more colorful and more bold from my company, then you would make it might confuse you, and that's where consistency really comes in. And so you want to, so there's line on this graphic, there's texture, there's typography, but it's not your typography, it's not your colors, it's not your textures. And so you want to make sure that people, what you're doing is you're essentially stopping the scroll, but you're just using that brand recognition. You want to stay within those colors, the typography, fonts, colors, voice, and style, and so that way people aren't confused by what you're trying to do. Okay. So this is one of just a basic Canva template here. And what I've done is I haven't edited it at all. So when you bring in a template, meet our keynote speaker, you could bring in a photo here. It says really great site here. One of the best or the biggest elements about a graphic is just making sure that you're doing the who, what, where, when, why. And I've done that many times where I have sent off a poster for print and ended up not just forgetting to put the time on there, or even forgetting to put a logo on there. I just did that recently, where you get moving fast and you just forget to put some of the most important elements in there. So the who, what, where, when, why is going to be really important. And so this is how I would do this. Let's say I was doing like a Main Street America, if they were having like a specific speaker, I would make sure that I bring in my font, and that matches the Main Street America. And over here, unless they have brand standards for the secondary font, I would just get as close as I possibly could. And I would, bring in a picture of the speaker. I would adjust this color here for something that matches, or at least calls attention to what I'm trying to do. And I would make sure that, so if the information that's on your template is stuff that doesn't apply to what you're trying to do, or your event that you're having, just delete it. But you always want to have people pointing back to your website. That's always a great thing, because your website should be kind of your source of truth. And everything that, and so just because they're clicking on something for one kind of soap doesn't mean that they're not looking for something else, either a different kind of soap or a different product altogether. And they may not know that you even offer that until they go back to your website. So you always want to be have people kind of circulating back to what you're trying to do. Okay. Under fonts, so there's a website called whatthefont.com, and it is really great. You just take a screenshot of whatever font, like sometimes you see something on a poster or you have something, you see something somewhere else. Try to take a photo or a screenshot of it, load it up to what the font, and it will at least it'll give you hundreds of options, to be honest. And just try to get as close as you can. Google Fonts is also really great because not only are they free, but Google Fonts is what are all the fonts that you're going to find in Google Docs, Google Sheets. You're going to A lot of the Google fonts are listed in your Canva options, and so that's where you're going to find the greatest flexibility and the free. So you're not having to download a bunch of different fonts and just trying to get those all loaded. But if you see something kind of out in the wild and you want to find out what it is, then you can go to that what the font. All right, so let's through some really cool things that you can do with Canva. Um, Janet says that there's also a Chrome app called What Font. So, and I actually didn't know that that existed, so that's fun. All right, so being able to duplicate makes a big difference. I'll use my sister's company as an example again. We were working on soap labels, and so once you get the one single soap label created, you can group a bunch of things together and then just duplicate. And so then she's able to print a lot of those soap labels on one sheet, and she's able to do that from home. She doesn't have to order those from anyone. So that's great. So I'll show you how to duplicate. So you click on your element that you're wanting to duplicate, and then right up here, there's a tiny little panel, just duplicate. So, and then once I get this lined up, the cool thing is that if I keep duplicating, it automatically gives me the spacing that I was looking for. There's also another way so say you have a graphic that you've made for a specific event and it's going to be happening twice. And so you want to, like, for example, I recently, this Canva class, I also did yesterday for a community called Grundy Center, Iowa, and the Grundy Center Chamber Main Street. And so what I did is instead of creating multiple graphics in different files, what I did was I just grabbed this duplicate page and I just duplicated the page and then changed the information on it. So that saves you a lot of time and frustration just trying to get things duplicated. Copy and paste also works, but that duplicate button is really useful when you're trying to make things repetitively. All right. Being able to share your design makes a huge difference when you've made something and you want to send it, say, to your business coach or if you want to share a graphic with somebody that's on your team. You can, right up here in the right-hand corner, there's a share button. And this gives you lots of different ways for you to share. You can either download, and if you click on download, it gives you different options for downloading. All right. And then you can click on if I want to add a specific person to see. And what you're doing is when you're sharing one individual design, it only shares one design because when you share, you don't necessarily want everybody on your team to see or that person to see every single thing you've been working on. You just want them to see that individual file. So if you want them to see multiple files, you have to go in and individually do that. Okay. And lots of different options here. So anyone with the link can view, can comment. So that's where you're going to find all of your share feature. I love the undo button. The undo button, like if you do something, oh, I accidentally clicked on duplicate. I can right up here, there's an undo button. So I think it goes back to 50 actions. And so you're able to, like, if you really mess something up or you like don't know what you just did, you can click the undo button. Being able to import a PDF is great through Canva. So a lot of times a company will be existing previously, or if you're working with an organization and something has been created previously, you're able to import that PDF, and Canva will automatically grab that information and allow you to edit it. So, which is it's that is a game changer. If you've ever been in a situation where you're like, well, someone else created this, I have no idea what to do now, and I don't really want to spend the time to type all this out again. If you import a PDF, it will give you some more flexibility to be able to edit that. All right. And then being able to color match. We kind of covered this. Like, so if I have this and it's an SBDC graphic, I'm able to go and click on colors, go down to the photo colors. I'm able to change those colors based on, and it will color match as close as it possibly can. I see that that red there is not the same. I mean, kind of comes out pink. At least it does on my camera or my screen. So it gets you as close to can or to the color match as possible. All right, so let's talk about color our QR codes. Under elements, I'm going to okay, so I'm over here in my elements panel. I'm going to click on elements or search, and I'm going to put QR codes. See how I've already researched that before, QR codes. Then I click on use app, and then what it's going to do is allow me to put my website in. I'm going to just put like the Main Street, Atumwa.com, just because I work with that one all the time. And then I'm going to click generate code, and it's going to be like magic, give me a QR code, and boom, you're done. You don't have to. Now, the previous version was you had to go to over to Bitly, create a QR code, download it, then upload it, and then get it in here. But this allows you to do it relatively fast and gets you on the road. All right. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but being able to make video has historically been kind of a challenge for small business owners. But we all know, as if you pay attention to your social media feeds, but we all know that it's video is, or at least being able to make easy videos is a real challenge. And so Canva kind of eliminates that for you. You can go under elements, and then right under here, there's videos. I highly recommend just clicking through and seeing what is available to you. That's probably the fastest and easiest way for you to learn how to use video within Canva. You can also upload your own videos, but that's a conversation for a whole nother day. Then you can also add different music. All of the videos, the images, the graphics, and everything within Canva are royalty free, and you don't have to worry about copyright infringement or anything like that. But just be aware that whatever you are using is available to every other Canva user. So it's great to be able to personalize your business, but also sometimes it gets a little bit cookie cutter. If you've ever seen, a lot of graphics in kind of the same format, people are probably using Canva. All right, being able to share to social is the pro feature, but under this share button here, there's an option to share to your socials. I have a lot of people that say, "Oh, do I need to be using the scheduler within Canva?" Nope, you don't. You can just download your graphic and then upload it just like you normally do. You do not have to learn something new or a new dashboard or a new platform or anything. So if that scares you, then just move right past. You don't. If it doesn't apply to you, you just leave it sit there. Then also printing is also relatively inexpensive through Canva. So you can also, it's all under your share button. You can print with Canva. Okay, so I'm almost out of time here. We're almost there. So under frames, you are, this is the really one of the really cool elements within Canva. So under frames, I've got a different frame on each one of these. I'm going to move those around just so you can kind of see. If you have if you in your business you want your image to look a certain way, or you want it to be in a circle, or if you're making like a profile picture and you want it to be a circle, here's how you do that. So I'm going to click on frame at the very top here under the elements panel, click frame, and this gives you tons of options. Now, some of them are going to be free, some of them are under the pro version, and so um, you'll just have to look for that little gold crown and see, which ones are available to you. But there are lots of different options. Some of them are alphabet, some of them are they're shaped differently, some of them have a border around them. So there's lots of different options there. And then what you'll do is you'll go to your uploads or one of your folders or whatever. So I've got this graphic of Nicole Crane. So I slid that. All I did, I'm going to undo just so you can see it again. All I did was grab this on the left hand side and I just stuck it over there, and Canva like magic stuck that in there. But Nicole's face is completely cut off. And so what I'm going to do is double click on this, and then it will give me some editing control there. So then I can move it based on, I can also enhance it there, or I can move the size so that way I make sure that all of my letters are cut off there. Okay, and then I just click outside of that circle, and there I have a profile picture. And so if I'm wanting to do the same thing, like I just want Greater Burlington Partnership with the little dog's nose, and I think that that's cute, I can do all kinds of different things there. Okay. Same thing, if I'm say, okay, I have a picture of a gradient here, I can, move these back and forth if I wanted. I mean, there's just all kinds of endless options here. So frames is another really cool option for things that you can use within Canva. So um, I've got a free download for you, the free brand cheat sheet guide. Some of you already have this because you've worked with me before, but that will allow you to, what it does is, here, I'll just demonstrate. So this is printed on a yellow piece of paper, but what it does is it's got all of my hex codes across the top here. It's got all of my font names right here. So that way, when it's time for me to like start adjusting with my brand, I've got it all on one page. And so I've got a free download there for you. And then if you need to contact me at all, then my email is right there. So, Janet, do you have anything for me?
That was a lot of cool information. Wow, that was really
Yeah,
good. So
I
that's
really tried to fit it all in.
you did. You got it all in. Um, I was the only so I don't know. You may not use this. I use this because I'm terrible with layers, and I know we had some questions about layers. Can you click on something?
Sure.
Oh, it's so small now. Hold on. Let me go back to just you so you can see.
Okay.
If you go up to position there, you see position.
Yes.
This is what so this layer tool, this layer panel. I love the
Yeah.
layer panel. So for those of you that were like I didn't even know they were in layers. I didn't either for the longest time. I was like, why don't they
Mhm.
make layers? Because it'd be easier. So now you can see what's going to overlap what, and you can just take those little dots there and drag stuff. Like, yep, yep, she knows. She knows all the secrets. So
So,
it's just
yeah.
nice that you can adjust your layers if you need to, if you get textures in the wrong spot. There you go. That's a good example.
Okay. So, like, I've got a colored box here, but I want it to be behind my I want it to be behind my QR code so that way it pops a little bit more. So I'm going to go to that position panel under layers, and I'm just going to grab this brown box right here, and I'm going to pull it underneath the QR code, and that's going to, and then what I can do is center. So I'm going to go back to my position panel, and that's going to give me the arrange option here, and then I can center it, put it in the middle, I can all that stuff.
Love, love, love. That is so great. I think you're such a fast designer, you probably can like move things and move things, but like some of us
Yeah.
need to see the layers and figure out. All right, we
I
have
really,
questions. We
yes.
have
Do
any
we have
questions?
any questions? I have a cat, by the way. She's
No, that's a kitten.
that's a
That's
kitten.
not a
Yeah.
cat. She's been there the whole time.
Yeah, she's been sitting on my lap.
Love it.
And I also failed to realize that the sun was going to go down. So I'm sitting in a very dark room.
We started before we went live. She said, "Wow, you're really dark." Well, that's because I'm an hour behind you, and
Right.
or ahead of whatever. And I got dark first, and now it has reached you. So, but I still think it
Yeah.
looks good. Looks good. All right,
Yeah.
what do we have for questions? Anybody? This was amazing, Lindsay. Wow, you packed this full of. If anybody got lost or you're like, oh my gosh, that was too fast, you can go back. You're gonna get the the recording and you can review it and stop in the places you want to stop, and that'll be helpful, I think. So the little
Yeah.
panther is so cute. That's funny.
Right.
Scary. Perfect perfect Halloween time. What do we
Yes.
have? Questions. Has everyone used Canva at some point, or is this all new to you?
Awesome. Thank you, Alicia.
Thanks, Alicia.
Alicia's my sister, and she is completely new to all this. She's new to business. She's new to making websites.
That's
She's
a
new
lot.
to everything. And Tracy is
A lot.
too. Yeah. Um, Shannon has a little bit of experience. Yeah. Josie has a little bit of experience. But yeah, I do fear about like, I always try to pack in basically everything I know into like a 1 hour class, which makes it hard because I do worry that I've moved too fast. So reach out to me if you need troubleshooting help or if you need me to show something to you again. I am absolutely happy to do that. And but the recording will live on Janet's YouTube channel, and so you'll be able to go back and kind of scrub through, make sure that you got the tutorial there. But yeah, reach out to me personally if you run into any problems. So
I'll take a before we shut the live stream off, if there's something you want to learn about next, if there's something in small business you want to learn about next, let us know, and we can do that next. Yes, bulk creating is very cool, but you either need a CSV, some kind of table. You can fill out a table in Canva. You don't have to use the CSV. I don't think so. I think.
that's true. Yeah, bulk creating is really great. Like, say, if you're doing like certificates, or if you have to do something that's repeated, but on each page there's different information. That's where bulk create really comes in, and you can do it two different ways. You can either enter manually, or you can upload a CSV. Yeah, it's absolutely bulk creating, like doing all year's worth of Man Crush Monday content. Absolutely.
Yes.
So what you're
Yes,
doing
that
is
would be a
you're
good
you're
idea.
yeah, you're replicating um, your graphic, and it automatically does that for you. So that's really great. Yes.
Shannon, I've never run across templates you have to pay for if you go for the pro. So you pretty much have everything you need with pro.
Yep.
And again, the cost is very reasonable. If you are a nonprofit or an educator, you get it for free. You get the pro version for free. So I don't know if any of you have dual roles there that you could utilize, but
Yeah. But yeah, once you pay
bye,
for the
Alicia.
pro, they don't. Yeah, once you pay for the pro, they don't charge you for any other of the templates. Trying to make an invoice. Okay.
Yes, and it's way cheaper than paying someone else to do them for you.
Yeah.
This is the way I look at it.
Or pay
I
what you
I just
value.
want to tell everybody to fail forward because I just believe this with design in general. You just have to keep creating and mess it up and create some more and have somebody look at it and go, "Really, those colors? Do you like those?" And you go, "Well, maybe I don't." And you have conversations about white space and colors, and um, it's just nice to just keep. Yes, fail forward. I do it daily.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
be willing to do
One
that
of my
in
favorite
business.
phrases is it's better to have sloppy success than perfect failure. So it's
Yes, I love that one too.
just better. Yeah, it's just better to just be going forward, even if it. And really, like I said, you're not going to change someone's life with one post. It's the consistency that social media is really after. So it's important to remember that.
Agreed.
All right.
Excellent. Well, thanks everyone. We appreciate you coming. Thank you, Lindsay. That was amazing. And hope we get a lot of people check back into that. And we'll share out the links on our socials and in different places so that people can check out this content. And if you have another idea, contact myself or Lindsay or put it in the comments in YouTube if you're watching this on replay of other things you'd like to see. And we will either one of us will do it or both of us will do it, or we'll find someone who knows how to do it. So,
Right. All right.
all
Thank
right.
you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Take care.